Hello and welcome back to Brit Reviews That All. I am back um, for my review on Sistas. So didn't get to do last week because I it was the whole thing again. I'm gonna always repeat it. Toddler mom, so things come up. So I just didn't get to do it. So I'm making it a point to really try to do it today for the latest episode. So with this one, let me see. This one was just kind of like, okay, it was a lot of what the heck going on. I'm not really sure where the storylines are going, but I'm watching and we're going to see. I will start with Maurice. So he didn't get an offer to get his job back after everything that happened with the case. And so now he's like doing like this online thing, which is not unknown. People do that kind of stuff in real life. So if that is what he feels he needs to do to make his money, to take care of himself, then so be it. But I'm kind of wondering, okay, so where is Maurice gonna go from here? Is he gonna just kind of do that and then just kind of pop in and out? I'm kind of, and then there's like this new guy that he's supposed to, have piqued his interest. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna go down this path again with Maurice. I do hope that he really finds someone that he really likes and that's good to him. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Um, but Dud, he gives his normal funny. I laughed on this episode pretty good with Maurice. Sometimes it's like, okay, Maurice, this is the time to be serious, but then in other cases it's like, okay. Let's see. Sabrina. So she celebrated her birthday on this episode. I was just like, okay, so I mean, it really is showcasing what really happens in real life. People, yeah, you are close friends, but you still are adults and you have a lot of responsibilities to attend to. So sometimes you do not get to do, your normal things. If you want to hang out with your girls and have drinks and celebrate a birthday, you might have to cut out short because you may have something else to go do. You just never know. Things happen. I thought it was weird that they planned to do like a brunch at Andy's, and everyone ended up having to leave. And I was just like, okay, so what was the point of y'all even popping in to do that little part right there? We could have just not done that. But they wanted to, tell her, happy birthday and salute to her. I think she was said she was turning 35, so it's more kind of like it's kind of dawning on them where they are in life right now and their age range, because that's a time from where you're going into the later part, heading to your 40s. So I was just like, okay, we're gonna roll with that. She lets her friends know that she wants to freeze her eggs. She brings up about the guy that she's, I guess, dating right now. I still think that, yes, okay, you are hitting but you turned 35, and so now you're really thinking about all of the things that you want out of life. You want to be a wife, you want to be a mother, all those things, and you want your career and all those things. Nothing is wrong with that. However, I do not think that it is okay to put the pressure on this guy that you just met and you're still getting to know, because now you just realize that your biological clock, that your clock is ticking as far as you wanting to become a mom. And that is not the, oh, I need to hurry up and have a baby thing. No. I think it was a good idea for her to freeze her eggs until she, figures out that situation, what's going to be what. I totally understand that. But I would hate for her to run the opposite direction of this guy without fully pulling him to the side and having at the right time, and in your right mind, having a real conversation with him on what the things that you want, that you're looking for, and what he's looking for, and then figure out, okay, is this something that we both believe we can work towards? And then if he's just an absolute no, hands down no, then okay, take your exit. But don't, you're rushing. And I'm just like, Sabrina, you gotta, don't rush just because you turned 35. You gotta, you can't just, you don't want to just have a child with anybody. Okay? So that's that. What else happened with Sabrina this episode? I think that's pretty much it. I mean, for her, yeah, that I can recall. That was really kind of popped out to me. Let's see, Danny. Danny, Danny's my favorite, but sometimes Danny be tripping, you know. This episode, I was kind of looking at Danny sideways. One, okay, she slipped out early. She was able to get away from work to go and come to Sabrina's brunch. Excuse me, y'all, birthday brunch. And I was like, okay, you know, you're dating, I guess, dating the boss. I guess that's her boss. I don't think that's a. I'm like, I don't think that you're supposed to do that. I'm just saying. Um, but she slips out to Sabrina's birthday brunch, so she's had a few. As we know, Danny has been, she started therapy, so she's exploring that and really having to dig deep and open up. And now she's even more vulnerable than she likes to be. So it's a lot of things swarming around in that head of hers. Um, I thought that we were going to get a scene where Karen was taking Danny home and that Danny blurted out that she's the one that kind of put the battery in Zach's back to approach her about a paternity test. But that did not happen apparently. And then also Danny also kind of, not kind of, she threw it out there that, you know, hey, you know, why wouldn't you want to just go ahead and do the paternity test? What's wrong with that? So it's like, okay. She almost said it, but she pretty much was pretty much saying, yeah, I kind of feel Zach on this. And of course, Karen, you taking this side. It's like, no, she's not taking this side. She's just saying, go ahead and clear it up, Karen, and lay it out on the table, and it's going to be what it's going to be. If it's his, then he knows where to go from there. And I don't know why you're dragging this out, but I think she was really hoping that he didn't ask and that he would just roll with it and say, okay, yeah, this is my baby. And that's what it is, because we all know that Karen absolutely wants Zach to be the father of this child. I still don't think it is. For all we know, it's probably going to turn out to actually be Aaron's, and that the test that they did was inaccurate. Just saying. So that's that. So Danny ends up popping up back at the job to her boyfriend, and we can fully tell with what she has on that she has some things in mind. And I'm like, one, okay, you're at the workplace. Two, he's the boss. He cannot get caught up in little things like that with an employee. And you didn't know if he could have been in a meeting. You don't know what the heck. But here you come, stumbling your tail up to the job, drunk. Now, I was under the impression that with the way she reacted, that she did not know that he had children. Okay? So they walked in and saw some bits of her. And she literally freaked out, which, understand, that's not how you want his children to see you. Understand that. But the way she was speaking to him was almost as if, okay, I know you got kids, but you sat there with their mom. And it's almost like they need to be with their mama and they don't need to ever be around, or like she don't want them around. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it came off, and I hope that that's not what she meant, because back at the brunch, Danny and Andy were pretty much clear that they had no interest in having children. They want to be aunties, rich auntie type vibes. So I'm just like, ooh, Danny, okay, you're going to mess this up, because if obviously he's gonna be about his kids for sure. That's a good quality to for a man to have. Yeah. Um, but if you put him in a situation where he has to choose, you are going to lose. And I think that if you knew and you know that this man has children, you're gonna have to embrace when they do come around and be more open to wanting to get to know his kids, because what we saw, it was almost like a ugh, why are they here? That's what I got from that. And we saw in the clip that he said, look, now you knew I had kids, so you need to figure out what you want to do. So he did basically tell her, if you with me, I'm a package deal, boo. If you don't like it, you're going to have to, it is what it is. Goodbye. Um, who else? Karen. Karen. Oh my gosh. So she is dealing with the whole thing with Zach asking her for a paternity test. We saw that she went to the doctor's office to go to ask about it and to get one. And so she said, her words, I'm not saying it verbatim, but it was something like, I need to know, once and for all. And I'm like, ha. So see, you don't know for sure if Zach is the dad or not. Okay. So you could have done this and been done with it and been able to start figuring out what you're going to do with your life there. Um, Now, at the end of the episode, we get a clip that she called him, or no, not even called. She went to his house, and there we go again with the random pop-ups. That's not okay, Karen. Like, that's weird, very weird, and an invasion of privacy. But you pop up, and you want to, and just to tell him that you scheduled an appointment to do the paternity test, and I'm like, okay, you could have texted him that. You ain't have to call him and do that. Anyway, moving on. That's all she gave for this episode. Then we have, well, while we're all in the Zach area, might as well speak on that with Fatima. Zach and Fatima, they get custody of, what's his name? I think it's Michael, whatever the little boy name is, his son. They got custody of him. So Zach is excited. Fatima's excited. That's a lot to take on, but she's, hey, if you want to be with Zach, that's a part of the package. And then, so he then went to the store and then bought up a whole bunch of stuff. Now, y'all tell me if this is weird, but now with the way that they had his house set up, it was giving me that he has a loft, that he built a loft. But now with the wording that was used, his son has his own bedroom. I think that is so weird, because I'm like, the way that y'all move around within the scenes, it does not appear that it's actual multiple bedrooms in that house. But okay, we're gonna roll with it. Okay, just saying. I noticed that, and now all of a sudden his son is moving in. They have custody, and he has a whole bedroom. Weird. Okay, but going back, Fatima, she gets news, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're gonna bring on here the fact that she's pregnant. But to great news to my ears, we actually found out that finally she made it into law school. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, that's going to be extremely stressful. That's a lot to do law school. Now you have custody, you and Zach have custody of his child. So that's going to be a lot. He's going to be dependent on you. But I'm sorry, I didn't understand why Fatima was stressing so much, because I'm like, ma'am, before Zach came in the picture, that was your goal, and so you need to continue on that path. Do not change it. That at the end of the day, yes, you are signing up to say, I'm stepping in as this child's other mom, stepmom, whatever. But Zach is the father. He's gonna have to step it up if this is what he wants. And so, in my opinion, I feel like we'll never see Zach at work anyway. So he should have all the time in the world to help get this boy on the track, this little boy on the track that he needs to be, because he's gonna need therapy. He's gonna need stuff to help school get him on the level he's supposed to be on. He's gonna need some work. Potty training, I think, was one of the things. So it's like it's a lot. But if they work together, stay on it, they can do it. And he's gonna have to understand that her law schooling, it's a must. She cannot back away from that. Not do it, or she will end up resenting him for it. Um Now, last, moving into the Andy, Zach, Jordan, Tamara, Hayden, all up in there. Um, she is realizing that she is literally, you better be campaigning, not just for Jordan, but you better be campaigning. I'm talking about Andy, campaigning for yourself, because Hayden is making his rounds, kissing tail, and trying to make sure that he gets that spot. If you want it, you're going to have to do some work. Um, Gary, I mean, at this point, it's like, okay, Gary, what we doing? What's going on with your man? He just got too much going on for me. Now you're doing drugs. Um, you had a gun. You're stalking Andy. Hayden pretty much put it out there. You are upset. No, Tamara said that you're obsessed with Andy. And if Tamara clocked that, I mean, come on now. And that's crazy, because Tamara is stepping in like, honey, I'm here and I ain't going nowhere. I thought it was very disgusting of her to be kissing, her and Gary to be kissing in Hayden's house. I thought that was very disgusting. But Tamara, she don't really have no loyalty to nobody, honey. She just trying to do what she do best. And I don't even need to say anything. Whatever that is, that's what she does. Gary's being the snake that he is, the troll that he is, the weirdo that he is. I mean, he's just all of the things. That's what Gary is. And he's like, really, Gary is falling off the rocker. That's the best way to say it. I'm ready to find out what's gonna happen with him, because um he is like, why hasn't he been arrested yet? I just think that's really weird. I would think that if they've been watching him building a case against him, and when they raided, or they, were doing their investigations, that they would have been pulled him in the jail. So I don't even know how he's still walking around scot free. Um, but yeah, so he's working on coming up with some crap to put out against Jordan, because he's trying to take them down. He's mad, he's upset, he's everything, because Andy is not seeing it for him like that anymore, and that his truth is out. Um, his pregnant fiance, she's staying in position, because that's the best way to get close to the information that she needs to know to find out what the heck he has going on. So we have to see what happens with that. I mean, they said something, showed us where not Zach, but Gary had a whole nother ID. We don't know if that was a fake ID. We don't know what that was, but he has it. And it wasn't brought up in this episode. I thought that was strange. It's like we're missing a lot of little things. And it's like you're jumping over here, and now Gary's over here doing this, and now Gary's over here doing that, and now he's over. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to follow. I'm trying to see where we're going with this. But we're going to see. So that is what I got so far out of the episode. I really want Andy to really open her eyes, honey, and pay attention to what's going on. Jordan, don't be so green. You already know Gary is a snake, and you need to have your sister and Andy need to have Jordan in the know about what they are finding out about Gary and what the heck is going on. And for her safety, I think the only thing that's saving her is that she has his child, Gary's child. If it wasn't for that, Gary probably would have been did something to that girl. But yeah, so we will see what happens on the next episode. If you watch my video in its entirety, I want to say thank you for watching. And please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And again, thank you. All right, and you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye, y'all.